Hey guys, welcome to the OBee Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, OBee. Got a lot to talk to on today's show, a lot of things to cover. Hopefully we can fit everything in. I'm going to do my best, so let's just go ahead and dive right in. We're going to start with some upcoming NFL picks. Once again, I was wrong last week I think I might have picked some winners, but I was off on the scores. But let's just go ahead and dive right in. In tonight's game, we got Jacksonville Jaguars against the Atlanta Falcons. Don't see much from the Jaguars. They don't look like a very good football team. Atlanta's trying to fight their way back, maybe in the playoffs, if possible, but their chances might be very slim too. But I'm going to roll with Atlanta Falcons 30-16 over Jacksonville. Green Bay against Kansas City. Don't see Green Bay losing this week. See them rolling pretty good, 38-13 over Kansas City. New England and Denver. This is my upset pick for the week. I'm going to predict New England loses. They fall short to Denver Broncos. I just don't see how you could pick against Denver Broncos right now, the way they're playing. And Tim Tebow, who is looking like a pretty good solid quarterback. So I'm going to pick Denver to win 34-31. Cleveland and Arizona. Don't see much hope for the Cleveland Browns this week, even though it is a weak Arizona team. It's a team they have a chance against. I think they'll lose 23-12, as they'll fail to get a touchdown this week. Indianapolis, I don't see them getting their first win of the season. I see them losing to Tennessee, 24-10. Seattle, I see them beating the Bears, 30-20 this week, as Seattle may be trying to sneak their way in, but it'll be kind of hard for them to do it this week as well. But I got them winning again. I've got Baltimore versus San Diego. San Diego just really hasn't shown that they can play against any good elite teams. I got Baltimore rolling 27-17. Maybe a surprise pick here too as well, that for many people, I'm going to pick Pittsburgh to lose to San Francisco. It is in San Francisco on Monday Night Football, and I say San Francisco is going to edge out Pittsburgh 24-23. On to some NBA news here, some signings and stuff as trades going on. The Clippers trade Ben Gordon, Chris Kaman, and Aminu, 2012 first-round draft pick they got from Minnesota. 2 future draft picks to the Hornets for Chris Paul. Chris Paul probably will help the Clippers a little bit, but who knows? I mean, the Clippers still maybe not necessarily considered a great team. Maybe they'll make the playoffs with the addition of Chris. I mean, obviously he's going to make that team better. Hornets kind of got the roll into the deal on that one, but they knew they were going to keep him, so they were trying to at least get something for him, and maybe they did. Who knows? Time will tell for that. Jamal Crawford, who was originally was with the Hawks, signed with the Portland Trail Blazers. It'll probably take Brandon Roy's spot, who decided that he will not play again. He with his knees and stuff, he decided to retire and hang up his career. That's kind of too bad for him. You know, those knee injuries, they do linger on, and maybe he just felt that it just wasn't worth playing. And all the best to him. Hopefully he can find something that he can fill the void with basketball. The other big thing going on in the NBA right now is Dwight Howard going to be dealt by Orlando Magic? Magic probably aren't going to have a shot at keeping him next year. So is he going to leave, and are they going to try to trade him and get something for him? Right now, it's not looking like they will, but that is the big question. Will they deal Dwight Howard? And some MLB news here we're going to try to cover here. The Astros trade Chris McKellen to Boston for Jed Lowry and Kyle Wheeland. And this kind of helps Boston because they've been searching for a closer pretty much since Jonathan Papelbon decided that he didn't want to play in Boston anymore and went to Philadelphia. Will this guy help? Who knows? They probably hated to give up Jed Lowry, who was a good young prospect for him. But sometimes you got to do things you don't want to do to try to fill another void. And they did that, but they did go out and get Nick Plunto, 34-year-old Nick Plunto, to play for the Cardinals, who was alright, but it's probably not going to be a guy that you can rely on every day, so they might need some other key role guys to fill in, like Marcus Goodrow and Dustin Pedroia, to kind of pick up the slack for what Nick Plunto might give you. Aramis Ramirez, who was with the Cubs, left the Cubs and went to the Milwaukee Brewers, and it'll probably boost their offense a little bit because they're probably going to lose Prince Fielder, and Ryan Braun is probably going to be in some serious trouble after he was accused of, was tested positive for drugs, steroids, preferably, I think it was, so we'll see what happens there. Minnesota gets Josh Willingham. They signed Josh Willingham, which kind of leaves the question, is Michael Kadyr's days in Minnesota done? Does that mean that they don't think they're going to be able to re-sign him? So they went out and got the big guy in Josh Willingham, who's obviously younger than Kadyr. And now that the question really becomes, where does Michael Kadyr go? So that maybe that leaves some holes open for teams like the Indians and maybe Boston. Teams that may need some outfield depth or something like that. Any team that had Josh Willingham on the radar that did not get him because he signed with Minnesota, maybe that's where Michael Kadyr goes. Or is he just done in general? Is he just going to be like, you know what, it's not worth going anywhere else? I think he'll probably get something from somebody. Where it is, that's still to be seen. Prince Fielder is still the biggest free agent out there. It doesn't even look like he's getting any nibbles or any bites right now. Maybe he's asking for too much, and teams just aren't willing to give him what he's worth. Who knows? At this point, maybe some teams are still trying to figure out how they can afford him and who they're going to start making. Maybe we'll see some big trades being made here soon to make room for Prince Fielder. So who knows? Maybe the Cardinals are smart. They go out and pick him up now. Maybe they can try to work something out where they can get Prince Fielder and at least maybe fill the hole with, that they lost with Albert Pujols. Indians signed Felix Pye, an extra outfielder. I'm not sure he's really going to be somebody that's going to turn any heads or anything and be like, wow, this guy's awesome. How did Baltimore let this guy go? I don't think it's going to be anything like that. I think they're just at this point, they're just trying to build their farm system, and if they have injury problems, they got some guys that have major league experience to fill in. Who knows what they're doing there? Manny Ramirez is back again. Excuse me. Yes, Manny Ramirez is back. He got reinstated into baseball. He gets put back on Tampa Bay Devil Rays roster. I'm sure they're not going to keep him. I don't see why they would. But the really big question is somebody going to take a gamble on a guy that's probably going to have to sit at least 50 games? He's probably going to be suspended for the first 50 games of the season. And how much good shape is he really in? I mean, is he in good shape? Is he in good conditioning health? Can he still hit? Obviously we don't think he can. Nobody thinks he can field anymore. His best fielding days may be behind him, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. If anything, if somebody tries to take a gamble on him, I mean, I'm sure somebody might take that risk, but like I said, it's a big risk because he can't seem to keep those drugs out of his system, those steroids and all the other stuff he decides to take. Talk a little Ohio State basketball here. They played last night against some no-name school, and they rolled them pretty good. Jared Solinger was back and supposedly did not look that great, but he scored 12 points after missing 2 games with back spasms. And some people may think that he's kind of just biding his time. He's like, you know what, I'm just going to dilly-dally this year and just play if I'm full healthy, I'm not going to play. I don't buy it. I mean, I kind of do in a little bit of sense, but I mean, come on. I'm just one of those guys who want to give the guys more credit. They still got the number 2 seed, and they may not. I mean, if as long as they got Solinger, they might not lose too many games. So I don't know, but that's all the news I really got today. Sporting news. I guess Ohio State coaching staff is coming together for football. Luke Fickell's going to stay on as defensive coordinator next year, and they got some other guys in there, so we'll see what happens. And they had a guy that was going to Penn State come on to Ohio State, so they got a couple guys that changed their mind that were going to go to other schools that decided to come here instead. So that's a good thing. So hope you enjoyed the show today. Feel free to leave your comments, any questions you may have. Just like some more. Thank you as always for listening. Thank you for listening. This is OBee out.